do is to give an upgrade to current NFT. So about artistic fields, you know much better than me, but we care mostly on economics and things that we can improve to your NFT. So we built our solution. It's composed from three main parts: protocol, oracle, and index part. So that let us to improve any NFT from the market or create brand new ones. So how to make your NFT economically viable and for what? First of all, so our solution let you invent on-chain royalties, especially multi-chain ones. You can earn income from leasing your NFTs, and you don't even need to pay any pledges for that. You can make your NFT to collect in a price inside it, a kind of insurance price that will be guaranteed to any owner, and he will be secured from dumping to Europe. So this was the main idea when we created it. So when we saw the hype, we understood that the day will come and the prices will automatically drop, and it happened in spring of last year. The main idea is that on every transaction, our protocol takes part of sell price and put inside an NFT like a minimal price, and it's growing with every sale made. And also it's a good thing for price formation. It's also made by people, but they understand that there's minimal price of NFT inside it for about 1K USDT, and it will be okay to sell it for 10, maybe 20, but not for 100 or million. It will be way too much. And the risk is real high. So the process looks like we take any NFT, for example, any CryptoPunk. We work now with Diamond 21 format, 1155. We are on chain of 5 chains. In mainnet, it's of course Ethereum, Binance Smart Chain, Polygon, Avalanche, Harmony, and Day Chain, OKX Chain, and plenty are coming in testnets about 4 chains as well. When you take this NFT, you can form a collateral, rename it, so you can put an instance, any tokens, whatever you mean. It could be fungible tokens, or we release better, you can put inside NFT other NFTs, and a complex NFT containing of any 721 or 1155 inside it. And also you can set up smart locks on your NFT. For example, you put it inside, you can set up an economic setup that on every transaction our protocol will charge, for example, 100 USDT, put it inside collateral one way, or you can split it up and say that 50 will go inside collateral and 50 will be split as a royalty. And also there could be multiple royalty receivers, so it's also unlimited thing. You can simply set up time lock. For example, you decided that the price will be collected inside an NFT for 1 year, and then the final owner will be able to unwrap it and take out the price. So you can set up that the collateral should achieve, for example, 1 million USDT inside, and only in that case it will be possible to unwrap such an NFT. There could be also made some restrictions for your NFT. For example, it can be made untransferable. It's also a good case for games. When you release your NFT, somebody took it, and the owner got the wrapped NFT, which is freezed on his wallet, and he can only play it in game, and no way to transfer it to put it in any DeFi or resell somewhere. So here I will describe several use cases where it is used now. The most simplest use case for games, how to enrich in-game NFTs, is about the power of NFT. The more collateral inside, the more powerful the NFT in-game is. So you can use any USD, currency tokens. Or second way we went that we can execute skill tokens, for example, one standing for attack and one for speed. So this way owners can customize more interest in their NFTs, and also for game projects it's a rather good selling point. In beta we made an upgrade that you don't need to unwrap the whole NFT. You can take out some tokens partially. For example, in a game, if your character is damaged, some skill tokens can diminish, and you need to buy it or deserve it in other games. So it's also kind of a floating thing. Third case, we think it could be one of our main cases. It's about advertising in metaverse. So the simple idea is that any NFT can become an advertising place, and you can monetize it in a new way. So we are now executing some MVPs with famous networks, but guys are big and slowly. I can name them, but you definitely know who I'm speaking about. So we separated this project from the whole DAO. We named it Spectre, so we are now in seed round for it. It will be based on the technology we made, and we tested the execution. So in general, you got NFT, and you can replace metadata. And when the trades are made between advertisers, the one who wins can stand in your NFT and display his advertising, and then our protocol takes out when the time finishes up. Another use case is about gift boxes in games. So, for example, you can place any NFTs, wrapped NFTs, but you cannot, you don't need to put in at instance any collateral. It can be put afterwards, so it can be kind of dropped inside. So anyone can get this gift box, and he doesn't know what there could be, and then you just drop tokens there afterwards, or any NFTs. Also, we executed this way with event organizers. It's CGC Summit was. Game On Summit, so the guys gave this NFTs as presents for their visitors, especially when it was all online. So in general, you got the gift box, and there you got wrapped NFT with tokens of their sponsors, and there was a time lock for half a year or a year after the visitors could unwrap it and get some way. Also, the next thing where we move, it's about AR games. It's simplified. It's like Pokemon Go, but when you catch the character, you get it with a crypto inside. It's also, in general, we now launched the game. We named it Avocado Go. So we now launched in Brazil. So the guys are there very active, and with our partners Arcona, they are experienced in AR games. So now we have all the kind of contests among community. They make videos and other creatives and get these avocados with crypto inside. So we plan to launch it more deeply in some time. And one of the most popular cases, which was inspired by Animoca brands when we talked with them last summer, it's about non-pledge rental of in-game items. So we made it that, in simple, the owner NFT can list his NFT on a special marketplace, and when the recipient wants to get it, he scrolls and choose the NFT which fits with the game and the payment he want to get for it, and gets wrapped NFT for a limited time. So in game, we need to make integration. It's about a few lines of code to make to see the original NFT inside the red one to be played as the original one. And when the time of rental finishes up, our protocol Guardian smart contract takes out from the recipient this wrapped NFT and returns it to a marketplace smart contract. So it's a kind of automated way, and it simplifies the entry for new gamers in play-to-earn games, so they don't need to spend thousands on game items. They can, for example, pay 10 USDT to play for one day and get it back. And also, our solution can solve the problem with scholars and game guilds when there are some issues without prize fund distribution to our multi-role functionality. It can redistribute all funds automatically and according to a proportion that you have set up on this web NFT. So about the products that we executed, the first one was a wrapper where you can set up different settings for your NFT. You can choose one of yours, or you can create an empty one. If you don't get an NFT, it will be kind of that wrapped NFT will be the original one, and will contain all the tokens you put inside, all the settings you have done. So you can go to the link up.envelop.is and test the opportunities there. Second tool was that we made for ourselves before IDO. It was about farming, because we wanted our community to have a chance we made a kind of first pre-sale of wrapped NFTs with time locks with our tokens before IDO. And then we gave them opportunity to stake them and get back wrapped NFT, which stands for their stake of NFTY tokens. The main thing is that now when you stake your tokens, you are locked with your liquidity. But when you've got wrapped NFT, you can easily resell it anywhere on OTC deal or just transfer. So they are free with liquidity. The next step we made also was first we made for our IDO, pre-IDO, so it was a simplified launchpad where our community was able to buy our wrapped NFT with timeless. Then we saw the big potential of this application because it can simplify the relations between VCs and startups, where VCs can resell their vested tokens inside wrapped NFTs, and for startup it makes their tokens more desirable for VC fund because they are not locked with vested periods for years. They, in some good situation, for example, if the project performs good, they can sell it below the market, but much above their entry price. And also it will not harm the project because tokens will not go to the market. So we named this solution soft wrapped NFT. And also we created a possibility to make multiple wrappings. For example, if the project wraps token is not comfortable to make it one by one, we made a solution about batch wrapping. You can wrap in one move up to 50 NFTs. This is a limitation due to block size, because if it's bigger, you can not fit in one block and there will be problems. The first VC whom executed this case with us was Animoto Brands. It was in early October. They supported our project, and also we offered them this solution, but it was made by hand that we can transfer them tokens in wrapped NFT on Binance Smart Chain with time locks all in one, or we offered them to choose between smart contract locker as for all other VCs. The guys decided to choose it, so Animoto, you see that the guys are seeing big potential in different technologies. They were the ones who accepted it. And so if you say about wrapping for VC funds, you can make several types of wrapping. You can just wrap single NFTs, or you can make kind of a bag. You make a batch of NFTs and then you can wrap them all in one to transfer more simply. Or for example, if they are sold on a launchpad. And third type, or it could be for the ones who are executed, kind of material type. When you wrap one NFT, then add another liquidity, wrap one in one, and get different time locks, and you unwrap it by layers. So for what we actually done, this is about unleashing liquidity on the market. Because we got it vested in tokens, sometimes we can have lack of liquidity. For VC funds, it's not so obvious, but for retail users, it's sometimes a real problem when they can make new buys due to this. So when we got wrapped NFTs, one way is from B2C market, from launchpads, which integrate this technology, or from soft NFTs from B2B market, from VCs. We got tradable wrapped NFTs. It could be made in a 725 or 1155 formats. These NFTs could be sold on many launchpads. Here we can unleash liquidity for a project. For example, if you want to make such sale, not only IDO tokens, but some vested tokens. From Launchpad, these tokens can go to secondary market, wrapped NFT marketplace. We got one solution made, special marketplace, we named it Scotch, where we got different filters for such new type of NFTs, but they can easily be sold on OpenSea as well, and we got API of OpenSea where we can display all our features, so anyone will understand what collateral is inside, what time locks are, and all other settings made. And all project can just transfer tokens to wrapped NFT marketplace and get this liquidity. For marketplace, the owner can go to DeFi, where he can get loan funds from his wrapped NFT. When we got tokens vested and these tokens become traded on any exchange, it's much easier for us to estimate the price and give transfer the loan. More or less, when we loan funds in DeFi, we got Rep NFT2, which stands for your stake, and which serves as a right to get back your stake and to return the loan. Also, this Rep NFT2 can be easily resold on NFT marketplace. So these are different ways to get additional liquidity, unlock and return it to the market. So we suppose that it will increase the speed and turnover of liquidity on the market. And the more liquidity on the market, the more possibilities you have. So in this upcoming year, we plan to execute in spring Unstoppable NFTs concept. It's been executed with Swarm, a decentralized storage. So the main idea is that when you store metadata on decentralized storage, you gotta pay for it being stored. But sometimes if you forget about it, you can lose your metadata. So while the NFT is collecting, you can set up that it collects liquidity inside. Due to our beta version, the NFT will be able to pay for its storing its metadata itself. So it partially will transfer tokens to a smart contract or centralized storage. So it will be useful for any metadata, video, art, audio, text, etc. Now with Swarm, they connect us with guys who works with audio. It's kind of decentralized Spotify. So I think it will be the first case we will execute with them. And of course, we can offer for different formats of metadata, the distribution of royalties. Then we are moving to cross-chain. Now we are multi-chain, but our vision on cross-chain is that you saw that there are plenty of hacks of bridges and lots of funds were stolen. So the idea is that you don't transfer liquidity, you just block liquidity on one chain, and on another chain you emit an NFT standing for that liquidity, which is backed by liquidity locked on the first chain. And while we got liquidity on second chain, we can unwrap the NFT on first chain, and then we can this way transfer liquidity between multiple chains. And also there is a concept, we described it in our articles about L3 solution. The main idea is that to reduce transactional costs and unify all chains in one, because now there are popular solutions like Arbitrum that works on layer 2, but if you want to make a cross-chain transfer, you need to go back to layer 1, transfer from layer 1 to layer 1 on other chain, and then go to layer 2 on other chain. But here you can transfer between layers 2 without going to layer 1 solution. And of course, we launch, according to our roadmap, in the fall of this year, we'll finish up all our products in both Oracle and Index solutions, so it will be executed up in time. And here are my contacts and of our video on the QR code. You can scan the link to our website. That's all. Any questions?
Not picking up.
It only sounds difficult, but in general it's simple UX UI, so you can just train it, execute it, and especially in games. There will be launched some projects also. Here are guys from Safe Campus who implement this solution. And the case about leading, we are executing it for digital, the company with their own materials and doing. They can release different projects.
他跟的不是人，他是跟的这个他的主业公社。
So we'll give you guys a chance to scan the code after this. We'll use that this QR. So don't worry, you'll get a chance to do this. But any question? Yes. I'm just wondering, since you You said that this was like, your system is like, you made it specifically for the game style metaverses, right? Like,
We made a project and then when the DeFi dropped summertime, we decided that it's easier to re-implement it in a gamify, and there were plenty of inquiries how to enrich game mechanics.
okay.
Uh, Initially, we planned to make it financial and ensure the price of NFT. Then we saw most of it on the market, and we decided to move with the market and offer new opportunities how to reach those.
If we're like, for example, you decide to work with Galileo, I'm just wondering, how do you think you could implement your system into the Galileo system, the current Galileo system, without destroying the purpose of the Galileo system while giving the benefits of your system while keeping the benefits of the Galileo system?
So you got any NFT, you can take any NFT and enrich it with all functionality I described. It's definitely N21 or N55. If it's a kind of metaverse again, there is a need to add people to see that inside the NFT, the original one will be executed as the original one, so it's not abstract.
Okay. Thank you. All right, any other questions?
So you can stake other token as collaterals for these NFTs. Can you only stake for NFTs that you own or for any?
You must be the owner of NFT to stake it, because you don't own some usually.
And can you stake any tokens or only some whitelisted?
In general, we made it a whitelist because there could be harmful tokens which can damage the protocol. But in red, in batch solution, we just found the solution how to get rid of whitelist, and there you can use any tokens without whitelisting in the protocol.
Good, thanks.
All right, thanks for that. Any other questions so far? No, you're all good? Okay, well, you'll have an opportunity to connect with Alex, so if you want to get that QR code, you can do that after this. But if I'd like to round of applause. Thank you for the presentation. All right, so you can see how exciting this is, right? You know, it's kept changing.